Okay, hey people, good evening and welcome back to the market again. Today is the 17th of February and we're back. I mean, the market was, excuse me, we had a day, extra day holiday, the markets, and again, we are back and back to normal again. So back to trading. How many people have missed the market? Someone said, oh, I wish the markets open every day. Come on, we need a rest, don't we as traders? But anyway, so we start off with the Qs, which and literally, and you can see I've started showing the performance. It's going to be there all the time, but I thought I'm going to leave you there for now. And so we can see the performance of whatever stock we're looking for. And as you can see, the Qs has been year to date down 2% year to date. So muted, as we can say. Definitely the Qs been muted. Another thing is where are we? Yeah, so the queue's been muted. And I think I had an interesting data in the morning. Let's have a look what it says. Bear with me, please. Yeah, so the queues, I think Morgan Stanley, they said that if the hyperscaler, if they lower the capex, the names like, Micron, SNDK, SanDisk, CIEN, for example, they could see a sharp 30% down move. That is actually scary. I mean, SNDK has been consistently up for eons now. I mean, look at that. That gave us a 5% down today, down at today. Look at Micron. I mean, if it just keeps making a higher high, I try to stay away from it. Micron as well. I think you could just see it's muted on that note. CIEN as well. I've been thinking I was going to make it short, but I can't. I wouldn't say I'm bold enough to do that. So that's the first one here. We've been looking at it, and this is the same group which has been moving together. So I would say that's one of the contributors to the markets. But again, these guys are memory, storage, etc. But according to Morgan Stanley, if there's a signal, a change in hyperscalers in terms of the capex which they're trying to spend, the signal that they're going to change that, then we should expect a sharp drop. Look, this guy deserves to come down. It's been going and going since, look at that, since just less than a year. This is almost 10x, it's 7x already. But anyway, so that's that one. So you can see, so the queues, it's quite interesting actually, because I posted something where the market opened today about the queues. And what did I say? I said, was just trying to find it quickly. Well, I didn't say it. It's just something I posted. It's just a chart within a chart. If you look at the queues, you can see the queues is been down. It went below 600 today. And then, so literally, if you look at, I've been talking about this for a while now. We literally haven't been anywhere. Look, that's October. That is the third month, and we haven't really been anywhere at all in the last 3 months. So, it's just been signaling I want, and I kind of like that kind of market. I don't want a market that's consistently up or consistently down. I want the market that's, both ways, if that makes sense. That's the kind of market I like to trade. So yes, so that's that one. Anyway, so we woke up to eToro today, and look at that. They beat earnings. And I think he had a huge 20%. The last time I checked, it was 9% off. That's impressive. And you can see it's been off the lows, off the lows. Now, if you're looking at eToro, what would you say? eToro, what comes to mind? This is a recent IPO though, their price discovery. We can think maybe bull. I've been calling this the worst stock in the market for the time being. It's just crazy because what do I say? The market just seems to have abandoned it really. And someone said, oh, maybe because the CEO does not speak good English or he doesn't know how to sell this thing. And there's quite a lot of chatter on social media about how the CEO needs to speak up a bit more. And look at Weibo. I know it's not been in 5 years, but year to date it's down a quarter already, lost a quarter of the market cap. Last 12 months, 47%, 6 months. This is just a liquidity destroyer, is an asset destroyer. and I'm not going to recommend anyone to get it for now until we get back on we get the strengths back again. So for now, bull is off my list. I probably should have shorted it earlier, but I kept believing one day, one day, one day. I don't even know what the earnings are like. But look, the last earnings wasn't bad actually. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. It was reported 0.07. Oh, that's actually a good one. That's a 6x in terms of the earnings that they did. Why is it not doing anything? We'll see. I think the market's just looking for it to get a bit more footing before it has its liquidity start feeding in. But for the time being, Webull is on the park. Another one is Kavana. Uh, Look at Cavana. I said I was going to short this at 400. Look at that. That is just an amazing short. 400 double top and it collapses. A lot of times when you do your due diligence, you've done your analysis. If you think it's a short, go for it. Look, what's the worst that can happen? You lose some money or you make some money. Full stop. So again, I think this is go earnings. I would one thing I've said is, I will be buying some protection for this one. Don't go in raw. Very important. I still don't trust this. I think it's still got quite a few people who believe it's a short. Personally, I think the valuation is just way too extensive. But it's been an amazing, amazing stock. Look at that, from $3 just about late 2023 to 486. This has made multiple millionaires. So look, that's a great one there. Another one is Netflix. What happened today with Netflix? We opened to this, woke up to this news, and Netflix, yes, Netflix grants Warner Bros. Discovery 7-day waiver to reopen deal talks with Paramount Skydance. They just couldn't do anything right at all at the moment, and the market's just not rewarding them. This thing is not going away. This is a talk that's never going to go anywhere. For some reason, it's not going anywhere. And look at that. That's a that's that's just a mega return, huge ton. Look, it just from the mountain climbing back down. So again, Netflix is not one for me. I've been watching it. To be fair, if I'm gonna get in it, I'm gonna start getting it from this level. But that's just me. But again, not a levered trade at all. Just getting buy, hold, and gradually start building a position. But look, it's not for me at all. But one thing people forget to note is that Netflix is entitled to a $2.8 billion release breakup fee. And one more thing is, do we actually think AI can do this job? I think Netflix, while the market looks at Netflix as a what kind of a stock again? Yeah, software. It's a software. Do we think, and right now we know software can't catch any break at all. Look at IGV. The software is down. Software is down at the moment. So do we think this is also as a result of software as well? So I wouldn't rush into Netflix right now because software can catch not breaks. So I'll be careful with Netflix. Some of this is I think we've got Palantir, which I think had a little bit of a reprieve, but just about over 1% today. We have ServiceNow, we have Trade Desk. All these guys are just selling off aggressively. Trade Desk as well. Look at that. This has just gone from the highs of 144 to $25. Service now. I could give you 10 of these guys, which is not, I think I saw one today, fact sets. Whatever happened to fact sets? I'm not sure. FDS. I don't know what happened to them, and they just collapsed aggressively. Look at that. It's been cut in half. There's another one. So there's quite a few of this which could potentially be an opportunity, but not now. I think there's another one I saw today, which is ROP. Is it Roper? Whatever it's called? Yeah. Where is it again? There you go. Roper Technologies. All these guys, software, they just crashing, collapsing down. So again, as far as I'm concerned, we need to see some form of capitulations. If I don't see, I'm not going to go there. I love listening to interesting traders and see what they're positioning. But at the end of the day, I listen to what I want to do. For right now, Roper Technologies or anything software, it's not there for me. Someone say, "Oh yeah, but by the time you're gonna get it, it's gonna be too late." Yeah, I'd rather be too late. I want you to get in first, but not me. Another one we had today was Zim. Zim Integrated Services. Look at what Zim did. Zim was 25% today. Do we think the buyout is gonna go through? I think there's an offer from, I don't know how you pronounce it, from a German company. Is it Hapag? HAPAG, I think they are. It's a very famous company anyway. They want to take over a pending shareholder and regulatory approval. Most of the time, it's probably going to happen. The Hapag Lloyd, they agreed to a takeover, and the market seems to love it. If you remember, I was trading this when it was about $5, $6, and this is the company that was paying some immense dividend at some point. I don't know if they're still doing that now. Oh, look at that! Still got 20% dividend. So yeah, but again, this is not off the radar. I think it's gone. I think they're going to approve it. Another one that I had a few weeks ago, but that's gone now anyway. Confluence CFLT. Pff, that's no longer on my horizon. This is a one that's still going through. We shall see. Yep, stock of 30 now, and it's gone. So okay. Generally, I think my opinion on this market is looking at it. The market seems to be totally AI driven. I just don't see any form of good news in the market at all. I don't know where it's coming from. So it doesn't seem like an A plus setup, A plus economy. Everything has just been rolling around the AI, moving the market and the economy right now. So the sentiment, it's not great. So you got to be careful and what you buy, in terms of what dip you buy. But looking at tomorrow, we do have Figma, oh God, Figma as well. I mean, look at that. This is just being down on a straight line. This is meant to be the Adobe destroyer, takeover from Adobe. But sorry, just hasn't happened in the last 5 years. Well, I know it hasn't been trading 5 years, a fairly new IPO, 80% year to date, 40%, 12 months, 80%, everything shaved off, So if you felt like you got in at a dip. I'm sorry, it hasn't panned out that well. Also, we had a few companies today. We had MDT. We had is it Panauto? PANW? Yes, which is another great company. But how did that pan out? So it's mega company, Panauto Networks again. Ooh, just looking at that, you can see what I've just got together. 7, 8% down after hours. This is not good. So there you go. So again, what do you notice? The common denominator is the software. If you don't say anything good, you get punished. Even though the bar is low right here, but you do get punished heavily if you don't say something good. So there you go. And finally, let's look at MDT. Is it Medtronic? I think it is. Medtronic, which is well, quite bigger than Panolta. But I've got to say though, we did have a cruise line which did amazing today, and it did have a big upgrade of trust in it. Yep, Medtronic doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. But of course, this is not is a medical supplies, and you can see this is crawling nicely. That's what you want in whatever you're trading. But generally, I can't particularly say a particular sector is going. Maybe XLU, the utilities, is one that I could say is definitely doing something. But generally, yeah, look at that. Utilities all-time high. There you go. So, utilities definitely. Even the financials are they're crunching, they're crushing, not collapsing. That's what I meant to say. They're not crushing anything, collapsing. Look at Visa. Visa is just not doing great. Look at that. Also, we could have MasterCard as well. MasterCard is not doing well. So you got to be careful whatever market or sector you want to go in. Visa not doing great. MasterCard not doing great. This is MasterCard, extremely similar to Visa. And SoFi, which this one here is what we think could be a probability of being added to S&P. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's nothing in there. But overall, you got to be careful, got to be wary. be patient before you join in. You don't have to trade every day, but if you're going to trade every day, then make sure you know what you are doing. I think until then, guys, I don't know what else I can say, but I think we're going to meet tomorrow. Again, crush the market, trade gently. I wish everyone green. I had a great day today. Did I trade anything? No. Whatever, if something is working, why should I change it? And that's the situation with me in this case. But until then, guys, I'm going to say have a great night and I shall see you on the field tomorrow. God bless. Bye bye. Bye.